I'd like to welcome everybody. This is our 25th year of awarding these Youth Asset Awards to our asset builders, and it is truly a celebration. I am not sure we have ever had over 200 people attend, family and guests and people that want to be a part of all of your special days. My name is Molly Lofton. I am with the Tiffin Rotary Club. The Tiffin Rotary Club is a sponsor of this event, and we really appreciate the Rotary Club keeping this affordable and making this happen. So just real quick, Rotarians, raise your hand. I know we don't, yeah, these are our Rotarians that help make this happen. So thank you, Rotarians. Also, the staff of the Family and Children First Council, raise your hands. They have been a sponsor of this event from the beginning. Sharon George has retired, and so we have pitched in together again to make this event possible. I did not want to wait a year for this to happen. Even COVID didn't stop us for 2 years, so it's good to be together again. So right now I would like to read a note that I received. We have some special guests with us today. We have 4 veterans, and one of the 5th veteran has passed away just recently, and his wife is joining us. So I'd like you to come on up, and all of you guys, come on up. And Tommy, will you help me? I need you to help me. So this is the note that I received, and then someone put the bug in my ear, and I completely agree. This came from Mohawk School. Yesterday, during our lockdown, that was not a drill, we had veterans in the building giving a demonstration to our 4th graders. We would like to publicly thank Jody O'Million, Denny Birkin, Al Shutt, Gary Cole, and Ken Stahl, not only for their service to our country, but also for their service to our students today. Without knowing the circumstances, they immediately and voluntarily chose to pull themselves between possible danger and our children. They went to the doors of Mohawk and stood guard for during this incident that happened last month. So we are proud to share our community with such fine men. So Jody is going to introduce so we can see who's who. I would appreciate it. And then Jody's also going to lead us in the pledge to the flag.
I am Jody O'Million. I'm the president of our United Veterans Council. And on the end, I have Gary Cole, Army veteran. I'm Air Force, by the way. Al Shutt, Air Force veteran. Ken Stahl, Marine. And this is Tracy Birkin, the surviving spouse of Danny Birkin. He passed away on the 29th. We have our flag stand here. Tom, we have Tom here. So please rise, face the flag, and we'll start the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is that good?
Yep. Thank you. So I was so excited just after Veterans Day to be able to continue to honor our men and women that served. We have a couple people that I thank for coming today, just in the interests of our kids and adults that are receiving this award. Mayor Dawn Ionatuno was here with us. Yeah, thank you. We have Commissioners Frankert and Commissioner Schuff with us today, so thank you so much for joining us. I want the school administrators to raise their hand, because if school staff, because if it wasn't for you, these kids wouldn't have been out of school today to come join us, and we do appreciate this big time. I also, also want to thank Charlene Thomas for the help she gave me, but also for her husband Dave, who is going to be doing the videotape of this. We will be sending out the link to this, so you guys can send this all over the world and show everyone that couldn't be here the presentation. So that will be coming. Okay, thank you. And then I also want to introduce Sandy Hallett. Sandy Hallett, come on, see me, is 30 days today into her new position as the head of the Family and Children First Council. So I want to welcome Sandy.
Hello, everybody. As Molly said, I'm the new director of Family and Children First. My Rockstar team is right over here. Again, this wouldn't have happened without my predecessor, Sharon George. 25 years in the making. I don't know if we have enough room for tables next year, so just saying. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and enjoy and just revel in these kids and their major, major accomplishments. Thank you.
On that original committee 25 years ago, Reverend Jan Crucera was a part of that. Along with me, we might be the last two surviving people of that committee. But Reverend, if you will come on up and lead us in your invocation, please.
This is something I always really look forward to, and amazing that it's been 25 years and really going strong. We're here to acknowledge, to me, God's gifts of very special interactions and relationships that celebrate youth and adult asset builders, which are those attitudes and those behaviors that impact people's lives so positively. Let me share a quick summary of how all this came about. After years of research with surveys across the United States with well over 100,000 youth in 6th through 12th grades, Search Institute published a list of what they called developmental assets. They came up with 30 of them, but after a little bit more research, they settled on 40. You have that list in front of you. 20 are external, 20 are internal. Really interesting what they came up with. Assets are defined as qualities or characteristics of life that help build healthy young people, or more simply put, good things that every young person needs in their lives. And the more assets a young person has in his or her life, the more likely they were to be healthy in mind, body, and spirit. Unfortunately, many youth struggle to identify even a majority of these assets in their lives. It's interesting, I don't think it was there, I didn't see it, but for the 40 assets, they actually put the percentage of how many of the youth said that they have those. And so many of them are under 50%, let alone 30 and even 20%. As you can see from the list, the assets are not complicated. Half are internal, half are external, coming from outside ourselves. Most cost nothing in terms of money, and many are things that most of us are already doing. And they're developmental, which means that they can be added on to as kids experience more of life, and especially interactions with positive adults. Research shows that it only takes one other adult to notice, to acknowledge, to invest in, and to affirm a youth in order to empower them. In years past, I focused on one specific asset, but today I want to look at a whole section, the section of support, which includes other adult relationships, a caring neighborhood, and a caring school climate, just 3 of the 40 assets. Often, people seem to just exist with each other, but people can add to the numbers of developmental assets as they continue to interact with one another, especially in the seemingly simple acknowledgement of others and words that we share. As an aside, we live in an age when too many digital tongues out there seem to be dissing many of us. And whether society at large, the national mood, our local communities, or even the streets we live on, our cultural environment does tend to influence us. Freud once said, words have magical power. They can either bring the greatest happiness or the deepest despair. My daughter, who's a teacher in town, gave me this on Sunday and said, tomorrow, meaning yesterday, is World Kindness Day. Wear yellow. Okay, so I wore yellow. But at the bottom of this, it quotes Mr. Rogers. Imagine what our real neighborhoods would be like if each of us offered, as a matter of course, just one kind word to one another. Being a pastor, interesting how throughout scriptures it really comes in terms of affirming one another, especially if you're going to be talking about something, to put the best construction on it. I got a great positive story to share, one that deals with words, but also support and encouragement. It's a story that I've shared here before, so if you've heard it, I hope it sinks in even more this year. One that I think is really meaningful, and as a pastor, it's something that I need to hear over and over again. In a country church in a small European village, an altar boy serving the priest at a Sunday Mass accidentally dropped the cruet of wine. The village priest struck the boy sharply on the head and in an angry voice commanded, "Leave this altar and don't ever come back." That young boy grew up, and we've come to know him as Marshal Tito of Yugoslavia, who was an extreme and ruthless dictator. Now, in a cathedral in a large city, another altar boy serving the bishop at a Sunday Mass dropped the cruet of wine, and with a warm twinkle in his eye, the bishop gently whispered, "Someday you'll be a priest." That young boy grew up, and we've become to know him as Archbishop Fulton Sheen. He was a servant, a model of encouragement and support, and especially when you hear this, you'll know how old I am. He was a beloved priest who had his own TV show when there were only 3 channels on the TV. I remember that. But the results of affirming, encouraging, appreciating, or praising, or of infirming, reproaching, belittling, criticizing, seldom are as clear-cut as in the story of these 2 altar boys. And yet every interpersonal relationship in which we engage is one unit of our cumulative effect on other individuals and on the world, for better or for worse. Okay, maybe hokey type stories, and I'm sure that one experience didn't make or break them. But each experience does have an impact on each of us. And interestingly, a review of common terms descriptive of human interaction reveals that there are more than twice as many negative or infirming terms as there are positive or affirming terms. And studies of the number of infirming statements, in contrast to affirming statements made, suggest that we use terms from the negative list far more frequently than from the positive list. And one study revealed a ratio of 9 infirming statements to 1 affirming comment. And I can get 15 attaboys in a row. Just 1 negative comment just wipes out all the others. From my perspective as a pastor and also as a clinical counselor, it's amazing how God can use simple opportunities to sow his seeds of support and encouragement by even the actions or the words of just a couple of other people, especially adults in kids' life. And look at all the adults here who do support and encourage. But what would it be like if we didn't have all these youth here who encourage all of us adults? What amazing gathering of so many gifted and differently abled people just celebrating what is working and what we know can truly be life abundant and to the fullest. We're about to celebrate Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm looking forward to all the food. But it's the family and friends gathered who mutually support and encourage with words of acknowledgement and affirmation. And if during the weekend only one more of those assets can be added to any of us, well, we all benefit. In Thanksgiving we pray. Almighty God, but gracious Heavenly Father, for all the ways you bless, support, encourage, and continue to serve us, we thank you. Make us mindful of all those opportunities to share that support and care in ways that seem so simple, but so meaningful to so many. Help me and each of us to model a life of support and encouragement with the youth and fellow adults around us. Continue to strengthen and nourish us in all these ways, let alone through the wonderful food seen and smelled in front of us. So come, Lord Jesus, be our guest, and let these gifts to us be blessed. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
A couple other people I want to acknowledge and thanks for the help with this. Michelle Tewitt from Tiffin City Schools helped me put together the certificates and some loose ends that she's helped me with for the last 2 years. So Michelle, you and your staff, thank you very much. Also, Dr. Robin Bisick allowed me to use her office and and also helped with some of the printing needs that helped out a bunch. So Robin, thank you also very, very much for allowing us to do that. Yeah, thank you. This afternoon, I would like to introduce Lee Martin. Lee Martin is a member of the Rotary Club of Tiffin, past president, and passed a lot in Tiffin. So Lee, we thank you for your continued service with Rotary and to this community. Lee will be handing out the certificates announcing the certificates this year for us. So Lee Martin.
Thank you, Molly. Everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
All right. Well, as Molly said earlier, please continue to finish your meal. We want you to do that, but in the interest of time, we thought we ought to get this started. Kiddos have to get back to school. Parents have to go back to work, and we grandparents, well, we get to do what we want to do. It's retirement time. You'll get there. All right. 25 years. Wow. That's really amazing, isn't it? 25 years. It's done an awful lot of good for this community. But more than that, it's done so much good for a lot of the people in our community. So all of you folks that were involved in the starting of this fine program, I and all of Rotary would like to thank you. You did a wonderful job. Our founding fathers and mothers here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go for another 25. All right. It's, Bob Olson said he's out. I doubt it. You're a pretty ornery guy. All right. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be able to introduce our next speaker. I knew his dad well, and I know how proud his dad is of him. The whole family has just done amazing things for our community, and they continue to keep giving back. He was elected as a Seneca County juvenile and probate judge in 2008. He's a lifelong resident of Seneca County who grew up in a large family, which included many foster children. Public service is a core value in this family, passed down to him by his parents, the Honorable Gerald D. Meyer and Joe Ann Meyer. Judge Meyer supports Seneca County youth in and out of the courthouse. He has served as a career day and drug awareness group panelist, a mock trial judge, a celebrity reader for area kindergartners, a smile mentor, and a youth basketball and volleyball coach. And folks, that's just the tip of the iceberg. He is also the proud recipient of the 2021 Youth Asset Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please warmly welcome the Honorable Judge J. A. Meyer.
All right, what an amazing event. You know, I say every year, but I mean it. This is one of my favorite things that I get to do as judge. I want to thank Legan for the nice welcome. Tiffin Rotary Club, always stepping up to the plate to make this event happen. Family Children First Council, Sandy, again, welcome to the post. Appreciate all the work that you do to make this happen. Again, 25 years is pretty amazing. And so I guess give them a round of applause, 25 years. All right. So in a world that's currently dominated by negativity and darkness, there are beacons of light. Proof that acts of selflessness, kindness, and support truly make a difference, not just make us feel good. This is why we're here today. We're here to celebrate the power of developmental assets, which are more times than not born from acts of selflessness, kindness, and support. We're here to recognize the impact of these assets, that these assets can make on our youth, and spread the word of the importance of these assets. So if you're new to this, you're probably asking, why does any of this matter? What does this even mean? What are we talking about? When we're talking about these assets, it matters because our kids matter. It matters because we know that by adding developmental assets to their lives, their chances of success will improve. It matters because we know that youth with high asset levels are less likely to engage in high-risk behaviors than those with low asset levels. All right, it's not rocket science, folks, but it is science. We know from hardcore data, evidence-based proof, how to predict the success of youth in our community. And as a judge, that's music to my ears. How do we get this done? All right, it's the developmental assets. We know from hardcore evidence that youth with high asset levels, say 31 to 40, are 15 times less likely to use alcohol or drugs, 10 times less likely to engage in acts of violence, and 10 times less likely to have problems in school than those kids with 0 to 10 assets. All right, the amazing thing about these assets, they have the power for all kids, regardless of their background. I see the power of these assets every day, every week in my court, and that's why we work as a court to increase the asset levels of the kids that we serve. And that's why every kid that enters my detention facility is required to complete a developmental asset inventory. This is why the kids that we serve in our facility, we work to add assets to them, because we know it works. We know it results in better outcomes. I'm living proof of these assets. All right, if you've heard me talk before, I've shared this story many times. All right, I struggled when I was younger. All right, I had a speech impediment that I had to work through. I had a difficult time talking when I was a kid. I had undiagnosed ADHD back before that was even a thing. All right, so the teachers out there know that I was the kid that didn't turn my assignments in and forgot things and did poorly in school. All right, I was bullied when I was in middle school. Back then it was called junior high. But in looking at, so why am I here today? All right, I went through all those assets, went through the 40 that's on your table there. And a careful look at those showed me I had 37 out of those 40 assets because of the efforts of my parents, my teachers, coaches, neighbors, mentors, my church. All right, it wasn't an accident that I turned out the way that I did. All right, it's because it works. I believe in these assets. My team here at this table believes in these assets, and that's why I work so hard to build them in our community. We accept the challenge. We ask you guys to accept that same challenge to build assets in our community. So thank you so much for all of you here today. Again, like I said, this is my Super Bowl. You know, there's the old saying that says it takes a village to raise a child. This is Seneca County's village right here. These are the people, you guys are getting it done. You're the reason why our kids are successful. So thank you. So now, let's get on to the stars of our show, the Developmental Asset Award winners. Come on up.
Ready to go?
Ready to go.
All right, all set here.
You'll like this out of your way.
A few disclaimers before I get started. The first one is, for many years, the voice of the nominators has been a guy named Keith Hopkinson, also a Rotarian. He would be here today, except he is currently under the knife as we speak, getting some work done on a knee. But I know all of us Rotarians would like to send out healing thoughts to Keith today. Second disclaimer is, if I butcher your name, I apologize. On the difficult names, I've tried to track down some folks here today to find out what the right pronunciation was, but if I mess it up, please forgive me, I don't mean to do that. Okay, our first nomination. Emily Beamer, nominated by Seneca East High School staff. Emily is an absolute joy. She fills the room with positivity with her hard work, dedication, and care for others. The positive assets and values which have been instilled in her are present in everything she does, and she helps to instill these values in others. Emily Beamer. Bethany Beeler, nominated by Valerie Zeno and Stephanie Debonette. from New Regal Schools, junior high and high school. This nominee exemplifies all assets of being a great role model by fostering growth in our youth at New Regal School. Bethany's dedication to organizing enriching activities for all students and staff makes her an inspiration to her co-workers. She is often seen working with students independently, planning elementary student council activities, or assisting with junior leadership activities. Bethany has coached freshmen and junior high volleyball, been elementary student council advisor for 13 years, Kindness Club advisor, 8th grade advisor, member of the Literacy Committee, Honor Society advisor, and an ABC teacher representative. Bethany Beeler. Carissa Besser, nominated by Michelle Tewitt, Tiffin City Schools. Carissa Besser is a true inspiration in the manner in which she loves kiddos and their families. She is able to tend to their varied needs, providing dignity and respect to all. Most recently, she worked to provide gently used formal wear to students who would have otherwise missed the dance. Her kindness and compassion is heartwarming. Carissa Besser. Amy Cooper. Amy was nominated by Michelle DeBusman, a co-teacher at Tiffin Middle School. Amy has taught in the regular classroom for 27 years, but decided to move to become an intervention specialist. She takes the time to get to know the needs of all her students. She is a 3-sport coach and dedicates her time to her athletes. Amy is involved with her community and families of Tiffin City Schools. She is an inspiration to her colleagues and a leader in Tiffin City Schools. Amy Cooper. Sean Dezay. Sean was nominated by Rita Obermeyer from the North Central Academy. So often, teachers go unappreciated for all the hard work they put into preparing students for a successful life after high school. So today, I would like to nominate NCAA's math teacher, Sean Dezay. Mr. Dezay is consistently recognized as a student's favorite teacher, probably because Sean is a natural at connecting with each student on an individual basis, and is talented at meeting our students where they are at, personally and academically. Every student feels valued and cared about in his math class because they receive support and academic assistance individually. Sean is not only a math teacher of the most dreaded subject a student takes during their education, he is also a positive role model. Sean demonstrates and talks with his students about overcoming difficult life situations and, of course, math problems. Sean is very dedicated to education and his students. If Sean could win a trophy, it would be for the teacher who works the longest hours after school. You can always find him at his desk prepping for the next day and helping students catch up on their work. Sean stays after school to make sure seniors graduate by working one-on-one with them if that's what they need. Sean Dezay. Jeremiah Dickerson, nominated by Melissa Malott and Cooper, Tiffin Middle School's facility dog. Woof, 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 woof. Just kidding.
Congratulations. That is for you.
When you need an amazing, reliable, and unfailingly polite student, you can depend on Jeremiah Dickerson. Jeremiah goes above and beyond to lend a helping hand to his peers at Tiffin Middle School. His goal in life is to be a positive influencer and a motivational speaker. Amongst the incredible things Jeremiah does He also spends his own time every day at school to help a struggling 6th grade student, which is no small feat. He is there to support, encourage, and share his beaming smile with everyone around. Tiffin Middle School is proud of you, Jeremiah. Jeremiah Dickerson. Jake Fiesel, nominated by Marilyn Seislaw, Principal, Calvert Elementary. Jake is a living example of what service above self means. Every single day I find him helping others around the building, whether that be with student in need or after school helping the custodian empty the trash from all of the classrooms. Jake is a blessing to all of us at Calvert. Jake Fiesel. Dylan Fox, nominated by Tori Lee, a teacher at Tiffin City Schools, Noble School specifically. Dylan is one of the most caring humans you will ever meet. Dylan has high expectations for himself and others. He does a great job of setting personal and academic goals for himself and doesn't stop until they're accomplished. He is a determined individual. The world is a better place because Dylan is in it. Dylan Fox. Lauren Gobble, nominated by Katie Cole, Seneca County 4-H Youth Development. Lauren Gobble is a dedicated being, a true leader, and extending her hands to larger service in our 4-H program. She serves as president of Junior Leadership, Junior Fair Queen, youth representative on Advisory Council, Car Teams Facilitator, and on Food and Fashion Board. She is a role model to many. Lauren Gobble.
Great job.
Hannah Gill. Hannah was nominated by Alyssa Huffman, school counselor for Tiffin City Schools. Hannah is such a special girl who always has a smile on her face. Hannah is always willing to help others, is a positive role model to her classmates, respectful and responsible. She has overcome so many roadblocks in her life, but she never lets that stop her from being the sweet, caring, and helpful girl she is. Hannah Gill. My mouth is starting to hurt from smiling. Ava Jacobson Tice, nominated by Valerie Zeno and Stephanie Deponette, principal and counselor from New Regal Schools. Ava exhibits exceptional leadership qualities that have had a positive impact on both peers and the school community. Her ability to communicate effectively and respectfully with peers, combined with a natural inclination to take on responsibility, sets her apart as a leader among her peers. Ava Jacobson Tice. Charles Odin Knight, nominated by Christine Shaver, online advisor for Tornado Academy. Odin is a positive role model and has dedicated his time to support his community and family. Odin participates in Boy Scouts and completed an Eagle Scout pet pantry project that collects donated pet food and supplies for families in need. Odin excels in school and sports and is a responsible leader in the classroom. Odin Knight. Dax Lavodi, nominated by Megan Steyer, school social worker at Hopeful Loudoun. Dax Lavode is a 4th grader at Hopewell Loudon School. Dax is on the Student Lighthouse team for a 2nd year. This year, Dax advocated starting an elementary chess club after school. Dax, alongside his principal, has been successful in setting up that chess club, which will begin in October and has received a lot of interest. Dax Lavode. Lyric McElrath. Lyric was nominated by Dawn Likens, Smile Mentor Coordinator from the Seneca County Family and Children's First Council. Lyric McElrath participated in Seneca County Family and Children's First Council's Spark Camp. She has an inspiring ability to engage people on their level. She tackles the challenges with a smile and quickly made friends during Spark Camp. Lyric has a wholesome heart. Lyric McElrath. Lucas Makoviak. Lucas was nominated by Aaron Hayes, school counselor at Seneca East. Lucas is a kind, hardworking young man who always has a smile on his face and gives you his best effort. He always says hello and never misses a fist bump. He works hard in class, is always willing to volunteer, and never gives up. Lucas is a great representative of Seneca East. Lucas Makoviak. Allie Oriens. Allie was nominated by Carla Torok, teacher at New Regal School. Allie is an excellent role model and leader. In the classroom, Allie completes her work and always strives to improve herself. She is always willing to help a friend in need. Allie is involved in the following activities: student council, 4-H, student leader news, volleyball, basketball, and softball. Allie Lawrence. Paige Pitchford. Paige was nominated by Nancy Wilson, a teacher at Seneca County Opportunity Center. Paige Pitchford is not only a young and beautiful girl, but also smart with a tender heart. She loves to learn new stuff and help her friends. She attended STIR program and did a great job. She is always full of energy with a beautiful smile. Paige Pitchford. Elijah Ramirez. Elijah was nominated by Pastor Charlene Thomas from St. Paul's United Methodist Church. I am proud to nominate Elijah for a Youth Asset Builder Award. Elijah is a member of my church and has been for the past several years. Through his participation in our youth program and through confirmation, I have seen Elijah grow in his faith and in his own personal convictions. The classroom is not Elijah's favorite setting, as he will freely acknowledge. But he understands himself and works hard to do his best. Elijah dreams of working outdoors someday, as the outdoors is his favorite place to be. And Elijah uses that love of the outdoors to serve our community and our church. He is the first to offer to help when needed at church, mowing grass each week, moving tables when needed, always lending a hand. Elijah understands that he is part of the greater community, and he lives that way by giving back whenever he can. Watching Elijah grow into a sensitive and sensible young man has been a true joy for me, and I look forward to seeing what he does in his future. I'm sure he will continue to contribute fully to our community. Elijah Ramirez. Sinan Reichenbaum, nominated by Siri Winterspeed from North Central Academy. Sinan has become a real leader in the classroom and beyond. He steps in for me and helps younger students with their work.
Oh, I think it's Kia.
Kian, I apologize. See, I told you that would happen. Kian, I apologize. He steps in for me and helps younger students with their work, both by encouraging them to complete it as well as reteaching the skills. He sets the tone of fairness and stepping up with all his own students. He has clearly demonstrated support, empowerment, and boundaries and expectations with other students. Keenan Reichenbaum. Margaret Ridge, nominated by Nicole Arnold, teacher, Tiffin City Schools, Kraut 2 and 3. Margaret fits many of the 40 assets, but especially has a strong commitment to learning and positive values. Margaret is constantly encouraging her classmates with their learning and is a model student of the growth mindset. She is an avid reader and exemplifies the character traits of honesty and integrity. Margaret Ridge. Corey Ritter. Corey was nominated by Cheryl Chappie, a teacher at Fostoria High School. Corey was not an enthusiastic student when he began geometry his sophomore year of high school. His confidence was low, but with some coaching, he became willing to step up and get the assistance he needed to be successful. He came to class prepared, took responsibility for his learning, and put in extra time at study tables. Not only did he end up with passing and successful grades in geometry, but he also attained his passing algebra score required for graduation. Corey is motivated and has goals to become a fireman in his future. He is in the safety program at Sentinel and will no doubt move on to do great things for others. He worked hard completing his work for class, is honest, responsible, has wonderful interpersonal skills, and seems to have found his life purpose to help others and make the world a better place. Corey Ritter. Hudson Ron. Hudson was nominated by Nancy Wilson, a teacher at Seneca County Opportunity Center. Hudson Ron is a young man who is always happy and willing to help his friends. Hudson loves to learn new stuff and explore the world.
No.
Hudson is not afraid of challenges like meeting a probate judge and always meets those challenges with a beautiful and warm smile. Full of energy and always being positive is Hudson Ron. Jacob Brombaugh. Jacob was nominated by Megan Schultz, principal and teacher at Calvert High School. Jacob Brombaugh is a person of high integrity that possesses the assets of caring and bonding to school, as viewed through his willingness to support other students academically, athletically, spiritually, and socially. Calvert is better because of Jacob Brombaugh in our halls. Jacob Brombaugh. Reese Schock. Reese was nominated by Lindsay Tilsa, teacher at New Regal Schools. Reese is the model of what the 40 development youth assets represent. He shows the utmost respect for all the adults and students. He is the first one to speak up to help someone who is being ostracized. He takes it upon himself to problem solve ways to help others. His confidence and compassion naturally put him in a role that others look up to, whether it's in the classroom, in the community, or on the ball field. Reese Shaw. Nora Schmidt. Nora has been nominated by Angie McGinnis, Mohawk Elementary School.
Congratulations.
Although many Mohawk students possess a number of the 40 developmental youth assets, it was easy for me to choose a recipient for this award, Nora Schmidt. Nora is a 6th grader who stands out in many ways, from her enthusiastic, positive energy to her commitment to hard work, both in school and out. She places a high value on helping others, but stays true to herself and her convictions. She is a member of the Mohawk Leaders and takes on any responsibility that is needed to achieve the goals of this group. Recently, a very difficult situation occurred during the school day, which affected our entire school community. The following day, counselors from Tiffin City Schools partnered with us to visit each elementary classroom and discuss students' experiences and concerns. After Nora's class had their discussion with a school counselor from Tiffin Middle School, Nora stayed back to personally thank her for coming to help our students. This is just one example of this young lady's character. I can't wait to see the things she is able to make happen in her future and ours. Nora Schmidt. Grayson Schreiner. Grayson has been nominated by Aaron Hayes, school counselor at Seneca East.
Congratulations.
Grayson is always very polite and willing to help others. When given a task, he always gives 110% and turns in quality work. He makes good choices even when no one is looking, and is always accountable for his actions. Grayson always has a smile on his face and a willingness to learn new things. His positive attitude and smile are contagious. Grayson Schreiner. Emily Scrimshaw. Emily was nominated by Megan Schultz, a colleague at Calvert High School. Mrs. Emily Scrimshaw empowers others in her role as an educator. She provides service to others through academic and social mentorship. She upholds responsibility by helping students identify and reach their sense of purpose on a personal level. Emily Scrimshaw. Olivia Sharp. Olivia was nominated by Dawn Likens, Smile Mentor Coordinator from Family Children's First Council. Olivia Sharp participated in Seneca County Family and Children's First Council's Spark Camp for a couple of weeks and became a leader among her peers. She is articulate, a positive leader, and mature beyond her years. Kids in the program gravitate toward her infectious personality and stable approach to situations. Olivia Sharp. Dylan Shutt. Dylan was nominated by Taylor Reinbold, a teacher at Noble Elementary School. Dylan is a positive leader in and out of the classroom. He is always putting 110% into everything he accomplishes. He is a true friend to everyone and truly cares about everyone around him. Dylan is hardworking, humble, reliable, and thoughtful. Dylan Shutt. Genevieve Simmons. Genevieve was nominated by Tevin Drosky, Family and Children's Council Camp Helper. Genevieve was very respectful toward other peers during camp. Genevieve was helpful to staff and peers. She would invite other peers to her table and help them when in need. Genevieve is respectful, kind, and helpful to other kids. Genevieve Simmons. Bradley Smith. Brad was nominated by Andrea Sailors, a teacher at Seneca East High School. Bradley Smith encompasses many of the developmental assets, but his commitment to learning and strong core values are most noteworthy. Brad is an exceptional student who is eager to participate in new activities to strengthen his educational background. Above all, his friendly personality and integrity are demonstrated in his daily actions, making him an exemplary role model for others. Bradley Smith. Carol Taylor. Carol was nominated by Reverend Amy Vittorio, 5 Point Parish United Methodist Church. Carol has been an integral part of our church's youth ministry, Kids for Christ, for the past 15 years. As a founding member of the ministry, she has forged forward through many changes and challenges. When teens wanted to continue the program after they aged out, she started Teen Talk. When COVID hit, we took Kids for Christ outdoors, still providing meals and snacks for kids in the Melmore community. When our kids moved away from our community, she bravely stepped forward and suggested we move our kids' ministry down the road and join forces with one of our sister churches in Sycamore, so we could reach new children and better serve them with more active adult participation. Her joy in serving children shines through year after year as she shows up with new ideas every time. Carol Taylor. Avery Tucker. Avery was nominated by Ashley Eichholz, teacher at Noble Elementary School in Tiffin. Avery is a wonderful role model in the classroom. She is always willing to help her fellow classmates and her teachers. She is a wonderful volunteer and exemplifies all the characteristics of a well-rounded student. Outside of school, Avery shines as an athlete in basketball, volleyball, and softball. Thank you, Avery, for all your hard work and dedication to all you do. Avery Tucker. Tom Vicek Emery. Tom was nominated by Molly Lofton. Tom is a student at Calvert Academy. He has a very supportive mom and grandparents. He is active in school, theater at the Ritz, baseball, and golf. He loves the arts, especially music. Tom plays the piano, guitar, drums, saxophone, and bagpipes, as he is heard playing for the entire neighborhood. Tom has persevered through multiple health challenges without the question, why me? Most of all, Tom has a best friend, his twin brother Wyatt, who has multiple health problems. Again, Tom never complains. He is there day and night to assist Mom with his brother's care. When Wyatt is having a tough time, Tom will be seen serenading him and playing him songs. Tom's caring, integrity, and all-around great guy is evident each and every day. Congratulations, Tom. Molly M. Ward. Molly was nominated by Carl Daniel, club advisor and school resource officer in the Wyandotte County Sheriff Department. Molly is the current vice president of the Mohawk Mentorship Club. Molly is kind, very generous with her time, and always volunteers for community service opportunities. Molly represents all the important core values of a great leader and is one of Mohawk's best students in the classroom. Molly Ward. Jenna Weaver. Jenna was nominated by Christina Drown, YMCA of Bucyrus and Tiffin. Jenna is a vital part of our aquatic staff. She has consistently demonstrated the highest level of professionalism, responsibility, and skill in her role as a lifeguard. Her vigilance and positive attitude have ensured the safety of all swimmers and created a welcoming and secure environment at our community's YMCA. She is a role model for her colleagues with her work ethic and dedication to the Y core values. Jenna exemplifies the qualities of an outstanding lifeguard, and her dedication to safeguarding lives is truly commendable. Jenna Weaver. Rose Wilhelm. Rose was nominated by Megan Schultz, a colleague at Calvert Academy, the junior high. Mrs. Rose Wilhelm is a servant leader who models her day to service others. She is responsible, humble, and generous. Her nurturing demeanor made her an easy choice as an asset builder, as her love of youth, family, and faith are so genuine. Rose Wilhelm.
Yep. There you go.
At the conclusion, we want all the recipients to come up for a photo and then photo op from everybody to get a group picture of all of those that are so well deserved. And thank you parents for sharing your kids with us today. We certainly appreciate it. I'd like to introduce Amber Stover, President of the Rotary Club of Tiffin.
Thank you for coming today. It's so honoring to be among the young and the older faces in the crowd, right? And hear about what they've done in our community and how they serve. So Rotary International, for those who don't know, has 1.2 million members around the world, all serving under the motto of service above self. Our club, the Tiffin Club, is celebrating 100 years of service above self next year, and we're always welcoming new members. So if you're interested, let us know and come and join at a regular meeting. It's a little bit smaller. So yeah, thank you for attending today to celebrate the achievement in these lives. I was reminded this week, I was in Vegas for a few days, and I was at the Chris Angel Magic Show. One of my clients said, you gotta go see Chris Angel. So I did. And at the end, he said, you know what? You have to take each moment that you're with everybody seriously every day. And I did not expect that out of Chris Angel. So I thought that I would share that with you, that, we're not ever gonna be in the same room ever again with all of us. So we need to celebrate those lives as we come together. A few club updates just before my Rotarians hit the door. Where am I? Oh, here we are. We have a board meeting tomorrow at Spire Advertising, 8 a.m. Saturday, November 18th, there's a downtown cleanup at 9 a.m. It might be a great time to do a fall cleanup at Rotary Park downtown as well. Next week's club assembly, we're going to focus on membership with new membership inductions, Paul Harris Fellowship Awards, and I think there's going to be a membership game that Rahat is pulling together, so that should be fun. The four-way test is how we're going to close out our meeting today. The four-way test is a nonpartisan and non-sectarian ethical guide for Rotarians to use for their personal and professional relationships. The test has been translated into more than 100 languages, and Rotarians recite it at each club meeting, as we do. So
Rotarians are going to rise. If the others would like to rise, that's fine too. And we will say the Rotary four-way test of the things we think, say, or do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Are we finished now?
We are.
We are, thank you.
Everyone come up.
I'll have all the recipients come to the front for a group photo, please.